growing up the punk scene, being a part of the heritage of punk scene and being such a big part of that word, you'll always get the kids that say, well, you left us, or you're not punk anymore, or this is punk and that's not punk. And it's something only you as an adult that went through it can look back and say, look, your passion is correct, but your definition is wrong. The punk rock ethos exists in a form where kids can adopt it and become unique, become individuals, and celebrate the fact that they're outcasts. And the more of an outcast you become, the better you feel about yourself. You use it for the wrong way when you try to judge other people for not being something. You're missing the point entirely. I remember I was in Australia, and the guy, I know this guy that his first show ever was at the Santa Monica Civic with The Clash. And The Clash, Joe Strummer, the singer of The Clash, walks into the hotel. And my buddy Smitty looks at me, he's, oh my God, it's Joe Strummer. He said, I gotta meet him, I gotta meet him, I gotta meet him. All right. So I walk up to him, Mr. Strummer, Tom DeLonge, I'm playing Blink-182. He's, oh, my kids love your band. So there's something to talk about. We sit down right there. And so I asked him, I go, well, what is it like being in The Clash? What was that like? And he goes, we used to walk around saying, fuck you, we're The Clash. Fuck you, we're The Clash. And he stops and he goes, but now that I think about it, the Talking Heads were pretty fucking cool. He's like, don't close your mind. Don't close your mind. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, wow, that was interesting. Like the king of punk is telling me, like, open your mind up. So 2 days later, we fly to Detroit, and it was snowing. And we had a big radio show. Oasis was on this show. And I remember sitting backstage, and I got my sideways hat on, and I got my fucking nose piercings and crazy shit. And the doors open up, and here come all these guys in trench coats with Beatles haircuts. And first reaction, I was like, oh, they look pretty fucking cool. They look cool. But they're not punk rockers, but whatever. But I'm kind of thinking about what Strummer said. So we go up, and we play our show. We weren't that big of a band yet, so we were really fucking rude, like, in the funniest way. But like we would take those moments because 17,000 people were watching us that didn't know who we were, and we were playing with other bands, so we would just say really bad shit, like we should go to jail for the shit we were saying kind of shit. And it was funny. So we get off stage, I'm covered in sweat, the door flies open, and here comes the singer of Oasis, Liam. And he goes, are you guys Blink-182? And I said, yeah. And he pauses, and he goes, you're the best I've seen in America. I'm all, you like us? He goes, I didn't say that, but you're the best I've seen in America. And he slammed the door. And I looked at everyone else, I go, oh my God, that was the most punk rock dude I've ever met in my life. The whole experience, I became the biggest Oasis fan after that, where from that day forward, I stopped listening to punk rock music and I started listening to everything. It was that, from meeting Strummer, having that experience with the Oasis dudes, and walking out of that and the band exploding, I never looked back. And I had my kind of graduation. The whole punk rock thing has nothing to do with music at all. And I think kids miss that point entirely. It has to do with the transformation of being one of the group to an individual and having the balls to say what you want to say, do what you want to do, and follow the path that seems fit, Putting out a song called The Adventure after such a public breakup about my vision of what the world can be and what I want to do with my life and how I choose to see the world was the most punk fucking thing I could ever do. It was a scary thing to do.